Today, I am going to take the first step in creating an underground moon mining analog. Starting a mine on the moon would not involve emptying an old basement of clutter though. But there are a few more differences worth mentioning. Let's get started and see if we can spot 5 more differences. Testing. Yep. Welcome to Isrutech and Moonbase Lappträsk. This room here is the mine, and the reason it is the mine is because it is at the base room. It does have a bedrock. It does have bedrock here on the floor. It also have a lot of old roof tiles. So we tend to talk about what is different with between the Earth and the Moon. So what is the difference here between this room in the basement of a schoolhouse in Lappträsk and a colony on the Moon? Well, for one thing, there are roof tiles. Roof tiles will not be a thing on the Moon because you will be underground. This is kind of also underground, but the roof tiles is intended for the roof. There is a roof here and it needs bare tiles. What is similar is bedrock on the floor that will be on the Moon as well, and you might even have air in the room when doing mining. We do intend to do mining. Plans in this room is to expose more of the bedrock. Exposing the bedrock is also a difference between here and the Moon. The clay here is wet. Clay on the Moon is not wet. It is because there is no water at places where you would comfortably live. There might be water in the soil, or there is water in the soil in the permanently shadowed regions, which is places which are way too cold, however, for being in the basement of a moon base. So that's a place where you will go to extract the water essentially from the somewhat moist soil. Here, on the other hand, we're going to remove the tiles here. That's the next step. And for the purpose, these are actually broken tiles. I don't know why they have so much broken tiles, but I kind of suspect some pupils in the school got down into the basement, and with stacks being on the window, they climbed out, and stepping on a pile of tiles will break them. So we need to get rid of those. It's nothing to do with them. I have sorted, so the ones on that side, they are actually intact. So the plan with those is to get them out. The plan with those is to get them out of here as well and put them on the ceiling instead, on the roof. I mean, to put them on the roof instead. Go. And let's see if it's possible to get them up on the little ramp I have made. not working. The tricky bit is probably to get them up. Whoops. Yep. Too heavy. Need to unload some here. There, that should be better. Let's try that. Yeah. That's that. Yeah, there now. Seems pretty good. And with the legs slightly wide. Let's see if we can. And with the legs slightly wider. Let's hope it doesn't blow over again. Right. This is a bit of a pit in a hole in the ground. So I'm going to fill it with those tiles, and then I'm going to put some soil on top of it and make sure it's nice and even. Welcome to Moonbase Lappträsk, Isrutech and the broken tiles collection. We will today make broken tiles. But as you know, broken tiles are not present on the moon. Certainly not now, but they won't be. There's no clay on the moon because clay takes water to form. Clay forms under presence of water. So there won't be any clay to burn clay tiles from. And clay will never be a priority import. Doesn't make sense to bring that from Earth. The soil here, besides being slightly green, which is a sign of biologic activity, there is no biological activity on the moon, differs from moon soil by likely being clay particles. You could make tiles from the soil, although there is too much biological material in it for that, which there is not on the moon. And also this has quite rounded structure from the micro positions, microscopic sizes, which on the moon, the soil there, regolith, is completely dry. It doesn't have air in it even. It has the regolith on the moon. It is vacuum, obviously, and it is by no means round. It's formed by meteorites crushing pieces of rock over millennia. So it crushes, some of it melts and fuses, crushes it again. Tiny splinters, very fine dust. Regolith is among the nastiest stuff you can find. Highly reactive as well, because there is no atmosphere, so there can be unoxygenized compounds. So, soil is different, very different. This is quite nice soil. You could probably grow plants in it. You can certainly grow moss because there is moss growing. On the moon, regolith. Different chemical composition as well. And also, it is, as I said, quite sharp particles. It is possible to make soil out of regolith, but you need to add biological materials, fertilizer. The surroundings here are pretty authentic. Grey walls. Okay, there is a window, and as we know, windows will not be round in a moon base. not even in a mine. But mine by definition is underground, so yeah, no, glass pieces, I'm not going to put them in the same place. I'll put them here for the time being. Doesn't work. Not even broken glass. Phew. And might be the last pile. That's good. Getting tired. Tired. What else do we have in here? Air, obviously. And air is coming in because it's leaking everywhere. The window's leaking, the floor above us are leaking. And there's seeping in air from everywhere. That would be the case in an unsealed mine on the moon as well. Lunar bedrock, not quite the same as this one. It is very much fractured. There are a lot of cracks in it. It goes down kilometers down. Surface starts as kind of a pure, very fine regolith. There are some rocks and boulders up on the surface as well, but there's a lot of this fine dust. Going down, there are more of bigger boulders. Going down further, when you eventually come to bedrock, it is not the mountains you see on Earth, where you have a smooth face. It is fractured, broken up, cracks going kilometers down. The cracks are, I believe, likely filled with regolith as well, the fine dust thingy, because there will be a lot of hits. Meteorite hitting Earth gets evaporated, kind of burns up in the atmosphere. Meteorites hitting the moon actually hit the moon, and at high speeds, most of them, because they're accelerated downwards by the lunar gravity. It's 1/6 of Earth, so it isn't that much, but the meteorites had the speed when they arrived as well. So, bedrock on the moon is much more fractured than bedrock on Earth. Not quite the same thing. Not even where you find a place which has very similar properties, chemical properties. The mechanical properties are still not the same. Either it is fine dust, much finer than we find here, or it is fractured bedrock. There are cracks in bedrock on Earth as well, but not as much as on the moon. There. That was the last load. And what do we have here? Waste deposit. And yeah, I'm going to cover it up with soil and make sure it's not visible later. The difference between the waste deposit here and the waste deposit on the moon is here we are really careful not to put anything in a bad place that is harmful for the environment. The environment is not that much of a consideration on the moon, but we're careful to not put anything in the waste on the moon that would be harmful for the environment on Earth. Not because it's harmful for anything on the moon, but because what is harmful also contains a lot of valuable nutrients, and they are much rarer on the moon than they are on Earth. So, for very different reasons, we avoid having biological material going out. And rare minerals don't want that going out, and it's much more critical for some materials, at least on the moon, than it is on Earth. So there will be the same type of care taken with only depositing very inert materials.
That was more than 5 differences. But did you see anything I did not mention that would definitely not be the same on the moon and here? The camera stand blowing over does not count. I definitely did notice that happening.